Hello, my fellow Squarespace nerd. Let's learn about gradients today. Gradients are all over the internet right now. Here's Apple. They're coming out with their new Apple Card. Gradients all over the branding here. It looks really nice. Here's a website I visit all the time. My wife makes fun of me for because it's all about nerdy computer coding stuff. But they have gradients all over their website. I really like this. This is great tool. I reference this all the time. Our new website that we just finished developing, gradients all over it. We have a gradient down here and it sort of moves. How fun is that? And then these buttons, we've made gradients, and this is all gradient. So let's learn how to do that today. So what I've done is put in some test code. We're on my website now, and I just created a new page and jumped into the custom CSS of the design tab, and I added a link on here. So just a couple spacers and a link, regular paragraph text, put a link over the entire thing, and right now it's set to the onHover event. It's going to be blue. So let's jump into our CSS down here. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go all the way down, create a whole new blank slate. What we want to do is grab our paragraph element on our website, because this is a paragraph text right here, and then the links with inside the paragraph elements, because that's what we want to select, that's what we want to change. So now let's throw our curly brackets up. Now, big thing to remember about gradients is that they have to be applied as images, because that's just how it gets rendered on the web pages. It isn't rendered as a color, it's rendered as an image. And so you have to put background gradients as an image. That's the property we're going to be setting here. And the value we want to give it is linear gradient. And you can there's a lot of ways you can play around with this. You can say to right, which is going to mean the gradient's going to go from left to right. The value here, this first one, is like where it ends, so to right. But you can also say like to bottom right, or to bottom left, or to top. There are fun things to do, but I'm just going to stick with to right here. And let's pick, now we're going to pick the two colors. The first color is the one that it starts with, so let's just say blue. The next color is the one that it ends with. Let's just pick two colors just to make it super obvious that we're creating a gradient. Wow, so you can see this picks up right here. And again, what we've done is, because we haven't added any other stylings here, and let's throw that important tag, important, on there. It is just doing the background of any text in a paragraph that I have on my page is going to have this as the background, but that's obviously not what we want. So we need to add a webkit-background, let's spell right, clip. What we're going to tell it to background clip is just the text. So right now, there are a couple different variations of this you can do. Border box, that you're not really going to be able to see many of these. Content box, those are all fun ones. But let's just stick with text, because that's what we're needing to do. So what it's done is put this background image of a linear gradient going to the right, blue to red, as the background of this text. But of course this text has a color in the foreground. So this gradient is in the background of the text, clipped as an image, and the foreground right now is black. It's just black in the foreground. So we need to change that foreground color to be transparent. And if we just set the RGBA values to, and again, RGBA, if you don't know, red, green, blue, alpha. Alpha is the transparency setting. It's always a number between 0 and 1. And if you just set that to 0, it's fully transparent. So we can just do 0, 0, 0. The last one is 0. Nothing's showing up because I haven't importanted this tag. And there it is. So right now what you're seeing is the linear gradient is the background image of just the text, and then we've made the color of the text transparent. And that's how we've gotten it to work. And there's a lot of other fun things you can do here. You can change this to a radial gradient and then maybe make that just there. And so it's starting, seeing it's radiating outward. I don't even think that's the right way to say it. It's going out in like concentric circles, so you can see it starts with blue and moves to red. You could also say maybe purple. See how that works. Battery's about to die. So blue, red, and then purple way on the outside. Maybe we say black to make it a little more obvious. You can do that. You can also set different values. I think you can say like 10% there and 70% there. I think I'm doing those wrong. But you can play around. You get the idea. You can play around. Just research radial gradients in CSS, and you'll figure out a bunch of different fun things you can do with them. So there we go. That is the tutorial for you today. Hope you enjoyed.